Okay, we've never met before, right? No. I hardly know you. No. Okay. I'm going to whisper in your ear. Okay, we're going to play telephone across this second row. Okay? All right, even with my American accent. We're going to play we're just going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're going to transfer 7 times, okay? You ready? Yep. All right, I'm going to say this once. You're going to say it once. You're going to say it once. Boom, 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 boom. You're going to tell us all what the text is. Right? Yeah. Yep? Okay, we've got this. All right. Lambs eat oats and does eat oats and little lambs eat ivy. You okay? So we're saying the problem's in here, are we?
I'm going to say something I did not say. Or going to say something I did not say.
I'm going to say something I did not say?
Go and say. Oh, go. Sorry. Yeah, there was
Say, tell us what... You guys are the worst. You're the worst I've ever had. I've been teaching bibliography and textual criticism. I started teaching that in 1995 in Oxford here in the English faculty, and nobody ever got it that wrong. You're terrible. What was it? I'm going to say something
Go and say something I did not say.
What did I tell you?
I might have got it wrong.
Indeed.
Lambs eat oats and goats eat oats and little lambs eat ivy.
Okay, close. I said lambs eat oats and does eat oats and little lambs eat ivy. And you came up with...
Go and say something I didn't say.
Wow! Close! Genuinely very close, I would say. So this very nicely illustrates the principle of textual original sin. And that is, all texts go from bad to worse. Okay? Every time there's transcription, every time there's remediation, you introduce new variants. If you don't have a way of going back to, in this case me, the originary source, and finding out what the true text was, you end up with a text which, how shall we say, bears some evidence of corruption. Because of the nature of its transmission. Okay, does that make sense to people? So what are we trying to do? Now along you come. We've never met either before. And along you come, and now your job as a kind of literary textual historian is to establish the best text. So now you want to go, let's say I'm completely inaccessible, as many women have found me. And so you want to establish the best text. What are you going to do? You're going to go back to him, right? Tell me your name.
Christian.
Christian. So you're going to go back to Christian and you're going to say, well, what do you remember? Which may be faulty too, right? And his text said lambs eat oats and goats eat oats instead of does. So we have the goats, does variant introduced into the first transmission and so on. Does everybody see how this works? Yeah? But let's just say it wasn't some trivial line from a song, which that is a line from a song. From an English song. I did this recently with first-year students at the University of Virginia, and the woman at the very end said, something about goats and boats. And that was all she got, because it got shorter and shorter as it got, So you would go back to Christian and you would try to recover, or Christian's papers, or Christian's family, or you'd go back to the second or the third, or you try to find the text and its points of transmission. Well, every time the text is transmitted, if the new text survives and you have the physical embodiments of that text, you have the edition, you have the manuscripts, whatever, and you understand the processes that created those physical embodiments, then you can recreate the circumstances, if you're good and if you're lucky, depending upon the evidence, then you can recreate the circumstances under which the text was transmitted, and that can tell you things about the reliability of the text. Does that make sense to people? So in some ways, a bibliographer, not one who makes lists of books, but one who studies the book and analyzes it, an analytic bibliographer, which is near allied to this business that we're doing of textual criticism, which is what you have to do if you're going to do scholarly editing, is a kind of an archaeologist of the book, is a kind of an archaeologist of the text. And really, one of the key equations is materiality and meaning. That really what we're trying to do when we look at the text and its different instantiations is to try to understand the complex and, to my mind, beautiful relationships between the materiality and the ways that the text makes its meanings. And some of that has to do with the type on the page or the hand on the page, but some of it has to do with, as D.F. Mackenzie, professor of bibliography and textual criticism at Oxford University, used to say, understanding the human presence in every recorded text. So understanding the ways that people transmitted texts, teams of people transmitted texts. And if you can recover those critical judgments of the makers, you can begin to understand what the text was like. And you can even be able to understand the text in history and the text as history in its multiple embodiments. Does that seem very abstract to people? Because I can get F.O. Matheson to jump out the window again.